Hello everyone, my name is Jesse, and I think we have a pretty big video today. This is the package. I'm gonna try not to show anything. I gotta open this though, so let's get that going. This should be a pretty good package. I have very high hopes. I'm very excited, but at the same time, I'm very, very nervous and apprehensive, and I'll explain why. Let's go ahead and open this guy. That rhymed. I don't know where the best way to open this would be. I guess here on the tape line? Yeah, this is some serious packaging. Oh, here we go. I'm nervous. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh boy. Oh boy. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I have a card. Okay. Okay. Woo! First, let's just take a look. Alright. First, let's take a look. Oh, who do we do first? Okay. So these, let me just pop them open because they kind of want to open. Wow, that didn't even get on camera. Oh, wow. Okay. So let me talk about these guys really quick. I'll zoom in on them for you. So this is Subterra Stronk and Chaos Crowl. And I'm sure a lot of you were like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Some of you are probably confused. The thumbnail or the title might reveal something. I have no idea. These are recasted Bakugan. So technically they are fake. They are not real. I hired someone or found someone who does this as like a job to make these for me, and I'll get on that in a second, but I want to talk about him. So Subterra Stronk. Stronk was never made in the Subterra attribute, so it was either paint one or get a recast, and I was like, okay, recast seems pretty good. I'll go into detail with these later. I want to get another light up here in a minute so we can really look at the fine details. And then Chaos Crowl technically exists, but they are really, really hard to find and like thousands of dollars. And this, I think after tax and shipping and the payment was like 300 bucks, which you cannot go wrong with. But yeah, let me get another light and let's actually examine these guys. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a better light here to really examine these. So let's start with Crowl. I think Crowl is the more interesting one. I can't really, I mean, so there are like telltale signs of it being fake. Like it feels a bit, the plastic feels a bit more chalky. I don't know if chalky is the right word. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't have a G power, it doesn't look like, which is kind of interesting because some of them do. It does have the nice attribute symbol. I'm looking for like, it says China right there. I wonder if it has an S/. Yeah, it even has the ST/SML marking. It's kind of hard to see. I'll see if I can zoom in on it for you or something. But it's right there. I don't think the font's right. Wow. Okay. Let's take a look at Stronk. I feel like Stronk is... Huh. It's got a white symbol there. Okay. Nothing on the bottom. These aren't die cast. They're just plastic. It does have the marking. Interesting. So the ST/SML marking is like in there. I know that's going to be hard to see on the camera. And the China one's on the opposite. Interesting. Huh. Huh. So let's compare the coloring. I don't know how this is going to go. So I have my Subterra Vertex. And I mean, it is slightly off. The Subterra, the real legit Subterra, is a bit of a more like warm orange or like a brighter orange color. So that kind of gives it away. And then this is die cast metal. So obviously that's going to look a little bit different. But wow, let's actually compare it with, I'm going to compare this with Tremblar now and see if I can tell a difference. I don't know, guys. That's pretty spot on. The metal, it's close. I feel like the Stronk, nah, it's still close. It's a little hard to tell, but I mean, wow. Okay. let's ball these up. Be very gentle. They don't feel fragile. Like, they feel pretty good. But I'm nervous. I've never held a Crowel before. My first Crowel is a recast. That's kind of insane to say. So that's Crowel. Let's do a roll test. Oh my god. I mean, it's just like the real thing. The only thing I can say is it feels slightly more powdery. And it's like a very slight color. Like a very slight difference when I say that. Like, it's super subtle. And Strong seems pretty easy here. He's got his stuff. I mean, this part's a little floppy, but it's not the end of the world. That's crazy. Okay. So let me talk about my experience getting these, because I'm very happy and I'm very satisfied with them. They're more than I think I could ever ask for, especially for the price I got them on. I will not be revealing the name of the seller. I have discussed it in Discord. If you're part of the Discord, you will know. And it's probably not going to be that hard to find. But for the sake of the video and to a wider audience, I don't really want to name them because my experience was not that great. So let me start with the dates of all this. I initially ordered these. All right, so first point of contact. This first time I got left on red the entire time and never heard back. The second time point of contact was May 27th. It is currently June 27th, so exactly a month. That was point of contact. My purchase date was June 3rd. So 3-ish days later, 4 days later. I did not even get a tracking number until yesterday. Or the day before, so 2 days ago. So I think June 25th, I got my tracking number. I opened it, and literally it was coming the next day. So the seller who I went through, just very unresponsive. I would message and ask and be like, hey, can you send me my tracking number? Are these done? Are they ready? And that person would read the message and then not respond to me. And then I finally would get in communication. They would say, hey, I'm going to give you your tracking number later today. And just they never did. Until I finally replied to their message and was like, hey, can I have my tracking number? I didn't even get photos of these. For all I knew, they could have been clear instead of colored like this. That's for all I knew. I never got photos. The only ones I got were from social media. So I didn't even see any of them in development or anything. There were multiple times where I would ask how the project's going, because I just, sent this person a lot of money and hadn't heard anything. So imagine, put yourself in my shoes here. Imagine you're communicating with someone. Now keep in mind, I understand there's a language barrier. I'm pretty sure this guy's Chinese. There's a bit of a language barrier, but he was speaking English to me. And even then there's translators, which can get a little finicky, but we were communicating when we would communicate. Other times I would just be completely left on red for days. But imagine wiring money, okay? Keep in mind, this was not through PayPal. I had no guarantee. All I had was people in the community being like, yeah, this person's good for it. So I wired $300. These are $130 a piece. There was, and then the shipping. So $300, maybe a little less, maybe a little more after conversion fees. I don't know. $300. And then didn't hear from the person for a week. So that was where I was, off to a great start. Yeah. And so I had that happen, and then there was just no updates. It was just constant no updates. And I'm like, I sent this person $300. I really hope they pull through. And everyone in the community was like, yeah, go for it. It'll be fine. And it did. It turned out fine. I'm really happy with that. But I'm just really unsatisfied with the communication, especially after spending $300. It was just really nerve-wracking. And I will say, like, I'm very happy with the Bakugan. They turned out great. To add on to this, right after filming this video, I went to go make a YouTube short, and the Crowl's leg broke right off. And I got it on camera of it doing this. So you can see I'm going in, and I go to move the leg, and it just pops right off. I had to fix it. I think I fixed it well enough, but it's just frustrating that I paid all that money to watch it literally snap right off like that. Really upsetting. But that was nerve-wracking, and not knowing when they were going to show up, because if I would have never gotten tracking, they would have just shown up at my doorstep today. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like, I would have had no idea. I would have had no idea they were coming. And I just think that's a bit, I don't know. To me, that's just a bit annoying, because like, I spent so much money, and the person read so many of my messages asking for the tracking. Like, I had to spam them, basically. I feel bad saying that, but I had to repeatedly send messages saying, hey, can you send my tracking? And so it worked out in the end, but it was rough. And I'm sure they get a ton of messages. I'm sure they do, but wow. It was just, woo, it was rough. Let's compare them in ball form and see the size difference, because the Crowl feels a bit smaller. A bit smaller. Than what I'm used to. It feels like a mid between a B1 and a B2, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. That's about the same size. Huh. Strong, the same thing. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, you can really tell the color difference here. Interesting. So I am almost done with my collection. I'm close. I'm really close. I have a Kodakor coming that is, I think, Aquas, that I'm just gonna paint black and make it look darkest, because I'm not looking for a darkest Kokador, because they just seem ridiculous and that doesn't seem fun to me. And then I'm sure the one you're all aware of, because I've been spamming it on social media, is like everyone else is Pyrus Spatrix. I just can't find one. Cannot find one. Almost caved and bought a gold one. Guy was a scammer, so that became obvious pretty quick that that was not worth it. So maybe I could just get a gold one, paint the part silver. I know the red's a little off, but I mean, this color is also a little off. I inquired the same person about Spatrix, and just never heard back, never got a clear answer. Just got my tracking, which I guess is cool. But it's been interesting. The no-nets are not fun. I have not enjoyed collecting them at all. They're not fun to collect. They're hard. They're expensive. It kind of ruins collecting in a sense for me, and I'm sure a lot of you collecting these can relate. It's just, you know, you're time and time again either constantly hunting online or so close to getting one, and then it falls through or becomes a scam or is suspicious. So I don't know. I'm gonna go put these in the case here, and I'll show you a picture of what I've got so far. I'll pull up that like video clip right now to, you know, it's getting there. It's getting full. So I'm real close, and that's pretty exciting. So we just need Spatrix, Pyrus Spatrix. That's all we need. All we need. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe for more awesome content. My name is Jesse. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.